Institute is back there, and we represent Connecticut Book Festivals, and Cindy Leahy is walking up, and she represents the Norwalk Public Library. First and foremost, everybody move forward.
Yeah, please, so we don't have to yell.
Come on up, okay?
Don't be afraid, you don't bite.
Now I'm gonna make the signs really small.
Got a lot of backbenchers. I don't think anybody's keeping track.
So tonight, this is the general order that we're gonna be going in, but there are people who aren't here, so we may have to jumble it around a little bit. If you are waiting for people to show up and we move up the ladder, you come up and you wanna wait for somebody, tell me, and we'll move to the next person and move you down. Okay, so it's gonna get,
No, go ahead.
it's gonna get nice and confusing, we're used to it. Okay, couple of things tonight. So on your seats, you're gonna find a few things. First and foremost is this sheet right here, there are 9 of them, okay? We may have 10 speakers tonight, so you may have to grab some of the empty seats. Okay, why are these there? One of the benefits of doing, well, let's back up a minute. Let me tell you a little bit about Connecticut Book Festivals. Connecticut Book Festivals started in this very building, okay? What year do you think that was, Andrea?
That we started Connecticut Book
That we
Festivals?
started talking about it? Here,
21?
21?
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
Yes.
It'll be
In
4 years on the
2021,
8th.
Andrea and I were here in this building at a book signing event, and we became quick friends. And authors were going around and they were doing book signings on their own, except when people like Cindy would pull us all together and bring in 80, 70, 60, 100 authors into an event. Other than that, we were one off here, one off there, and we were scattered and had no way of doing anything. So Andrea and I started talking about there's gotta be a better way for authors to do this. And in May of 2024, Connecticut Book Festivals was born. And Andrea and I decided that that's how we were gonna do this. And the two of us started Connecticut Book Festivals. And about 6 months later, we had about 70 authors. Today, we're about to cross the 450 mark in the state of Connecticut alone. Okay? That doesn't count the unpublished authors that we also help. Okay? We do book signing events. We try to do one a month. It doesn't work out that way. It's too much. We became a nonprofit recently. And we now have committees and a board, and we're big people now. Okay? We put on our big pants and we're working. Okay? Both of us had a career before this and decided we retired. Guess not. Okay. Anyway, one of the things we realized were we were doing everything for the published authors. What about the authors that were pre-published, working on their work and needed help? We remember when we first came out and our work was published, and we were like, what do we do? We don't have any idea. And so we created our associate membership. And I should tell you that both our author membership and our associate membership are totally free, and there's no obligation to go to any event, buy any of the other things that we do. One of the things we found out, when we reached a certain point and a certain number of author members, we got noticed. And we became the Walmart or the Amazon of Connecticut. And we started getting phone calls from other venues, and we didn't have to hunt anymore for places. We still do, because we vet every place we go to very carefully. We want to make sure you're going in, you're going to have a good time, but we also want to make sure you're going home safely. Okay, and we've checked out some that you don't want to go to. But the other thing that started happening was we were getting phone calls from industry professionals. And so now we have an audiobook company called Audio Sorceress, right here in Connecticut. We have our own podcast, which has been in the top 100 for most of its life in the country. Jed Doherty is our podcaster, and he does a wonderful job. He seems to be able to draw the story out of any author. And so even this year, we've opened up to our associate members, those are the people who are not published yet. We've opened that up to you now to sign up with Jed when your book is near to be published. So you can get on there, get your podcast. These are evergreen podcasts. That means they stay on forever, but then you can download it and you can put it on your website and you can put it on your social media pages, but it also is on just about every platform out there. We've been able to get them on everything. In addition to that, we have computer specialists, we have website specialists, and we're growing every day. Andrea and I decided we needed to do something for those who are pre-published. And then we decided to come up with the Writers' Sneak Peeks. Okay, and we started in New Haven at Spruce Cafe, and we're in our 4th month now, and it's packed every time. We turn writers away, not to push them to the next month. As you can see, we're doing that here tonight. We have a list started for next month already. It's been wildly successful. When we first started taking unpublished authors, okay, the idea was to have you come sit with the published authors at events and learn the business, learn how to sit down, learn what to do at a book signing, learn what to bring to your table. And then we decided to go one step further and give you your own event. And here we are tonight, doing one here in Norwalk. We have one in New Haven. We will be doing one in Milford starting in December. And other towns are now starting to reach out to us. If you have friends who write and are going to be published or want to be published, send them our way. We're the only ones that are doing this. Well, that's not true. Okay, Gabby does very well with her group and works very hard. Those of you who don't know Gabby Coatsworth right there, okay, she's kind of the guru down here. Okay, nods to you, Gabby. She also works very hard at her craft and with young authors. Before I go any further, tomorrow night there is a drawing here at the library. Is it here, Cindy?
No, this is
No,
a
the
show.
show is tomorrow
The
night.
show
The
is
show is
tomorrow
tomorrow
night.
night, okay.
But we have coupons for tickets.
Oh, tickets, okay.
$30 tickets, up to 50% off.
Up to 50% off.
Yes, at the,
The old Wall Street
yeah,
Theater.
the old Wall Street, yeah, District Music.
I don't
now
remember.
called
District
what it is.
Music.
The district
So pick them
theater.
up, they're back there if you want that back. For almost, I have to say these things right.
The show is history that doesn't suck.
No, we're not sponsored by them. Sponsorship is not something we've gotten yet. That reminds me also, as a nonprofit, I told you that we don't take dues from our members. We don't charge our members to go to any book signings. Okay? The ancillary stuff with the professionals, we get at a discount for you guys. You have to pay them. We are very transparent. We do take a little part of that. It's how we buy the pencils and the ink and stuff like that and keep things going. As far as our nonprofit, we never ask you to donate to it. That's not what we want. We won't turn it down, but we don't ask you to do it. The donation page on our website is 99.9% built. And as soon as the bank and the website find out how to work with one another, it'll be running, which should be in the next couple days. Let's get back to tonight. So this paper here, okay, every author who's coming up here tonight to read, okay, is going to have 2 ways to get feedback tonight. One, verbally, okay? At the end, they'll ask for questions. You can raise your hand and ask questions, give comments, give your opinion. That's why you're here, that's why they're here. Secondly, we ask you to fill out these 4 questions so they can take them home with them. If you are an author tonight who is reading and you get these comment sheets, okay, constructive criticism only, please. Okay, no hate speech, no negativity, okay, be constructive, please. Secondly, if you're an author and you're reading these when you get home, and you get the same comment over and over and over, okay, it may be worth listening to. If it is a one-off, it may be just somebody's opinion. If you have a question about anything on these sheets, reach out to Andrea or myself, and we'll help you, okay? This card here, okay, is a card we gave each one of you to take home with you on why we think you should be a member of Connecticut Book Festivals. There are extras back there. Take them with you, give them out for us, it helps us too. Can't think of anything else, did I miss anything?
No, other than getting your first reader up there.
Refreshments, there are refreshments.
Oh, yeah, there are refreshments in the back.
There are refreshments in
So
the
help
back.
yourself. And then also for the authors, we have a sign-off sheet that you give
Oh, yes.
permission for the video. So if you agree to that, take it and sign off on it.
We understand this is unpublished work, okay? The library would like to videotape it, okay, but you have to sign a waiver for it. If you do not, when you come up here, please let me know and we will turn it off, okay? Some people are sensitive about that. Lastly, if you speak low, there's a mic here, flip it on and talk into the mic. Okay, I'm done, my mouth is done. Okay. First is BC Bull. When you come up, please tell us a little bit about yourself very quickly and about your writing, what you're talking about. You'll have about 10 minutes, give or take. We have a fair amount of people playing, more than is on this list. So we're going to keep moving. Thank you. BC. Let's give her another applause.
So thank you first to the organizers, and thank you everybody for coming out this evening to hear us read. And my story is actually one of the short stories that is within my larger book. Can everyone hear me? I usually don't need a speaker.
It's not on.
It's on my own.
It's not.
But my story is actually about a young writer who has writer's block and inadvertently.
Oh, I'm
Sure.
One moment for the legal
That's it.
Wait a minute. You still do it.
Oh, let me just see if I'm using my.
I'm trying not to do anything that's in there right now. I can get into enough trouble on my own, I don't need help. Believe me.
Sorry. Just see me before you go up.
Yes. So my story is about a young author with writer's block who has an affair with a demon, and every night that they are together, basically she gets another story. So since we have some younger people in the audience, it will be a little bit abridged. But this is one of the short stories that's in the larger book. So I start out with the story of the writer, and then in between are her short stories, and then there also is an ending to it to kind of find out what happens with that young author. But this first story is called The Island. The graduation party that night at Ben's was lame. Most of us now had to face the reality of probably being stuck in Norwood Commons for good. We had low expectations for ourselves and for our families because most of the larger businesses had dried up and moved the hell out, as Dad kept saying. The main options were retail or something similar in nearby towns. A branch of our family lived in Connecticut and ran a rail line years ago, but my great uncle had moved here to escape the busier pace. Most of our parents had been local for generations, and only a few from our class were lucky enough to find money and get out. I was not one of them, but my twin David would be leaving in August on a baseball scholarship. It was something I didn't want to talk much about. Our usual laughter that night at the graduation party was missing as our hopes drained during the "what's next for you" conversations. And by 10 p.m., most of the alcohol that was in the bottles and cans we clutched was also drained. I came up with the idea of going out to the island, since it was something we never did at night. We all heard of people disappearing out there as kids, but we never heard any real names or saw any proof. Even though we thought it was to scare us or keep us from drowning at night, we had never gone out there to party. We respected our folks after all. We only walked out there in large groups on steamy summer days, and usually with adults also walking out there and back together as the tide came in. The island was about half a mile from the shore. There was no electricity or buildings there save for a small shack, and our parents really didn't talk about it much, just threatening a serious ass beating if any of us went out there first. I grabbed Alex, the only guy who was sitting by himself, and dragged him along. He didn't complain because we had hung out in the past. Now leave the rest of the sentence out. Ben and Maria were the only other takers, and Ben suggested we snatch one of the local rowboats, as there were always a few at the beach. My brother David had already left the party, and I knew he would be off somewhere with his girlfriend Marla. I didn't call him, something else I'll always regret. Sorry. That's really bad. Some of it printed on double-sided, so. Ben was the first to mention the small bright white light out on the island as he paddled us closer. Millions of stars and bright moonlight lit up like Christmas lights over our heads. While I had been there during the day in the past, looking at it now with its wall-like row of trees, I shuddered. As the metal boat lapped slowly and steadily forward on the small black waves, the trees seemed to be waiting for us. I gripped Alex's leg and he pulled me closer. We exited the boat in silence, Alex and I still leaning on one another as the black, ice-cold tide followed us in. I didn't know if the island took on much water during high tide, but guessing